Okay. All right. It's you, me, Joe, and Bruce at the moment.
Okay.
So it's 5:32, Mayor. Whenever you want to get us started, if you want to wait another few minutes to see it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. All right.
Just the only one that we're waiting for probably is Chuck.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Well, first, I congratulated Joe. Let me congratulate you, Mayor, on your appearance with the governor today. It was pretty well done, I would say.
Well, it was. We thank Joe for making that happen. I remember we were talking about 2 weeks ago about trying to do this, and Joe got us on there. So at least we got to represent our what we're doing up here.
Yeah.
That's great, Dick. I didn't get to see it. I apologize. I was out at a job site.
You can see it on your favorite channel, Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was telling the others, Dick, that I'll go to the governor's YouTube page. He stores all those press conferences there, and I'll download it and just cut out those first few minutes where you guys are on there and post it on our dashboard.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Thank you. Well, we might as well get started here.
All right. Kick it off.
Just want to thank everybody for getting together again this evening. And this is our COVID task force with where we make adjustments. And welcome aboard. And I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. We want to get committee reports, and I'll start with you, Joe, if you don't mind.
Sure. So our education committee met on Friday, February the 5th. We had myself, Mr. Kay, Mr. Governor, Chief Hutch, and the mayor in attendance. We just talked a little bit about our three committees in the conversation we had at this meeting a couple weeks ago. For our education, we talked about the updated dashboard materials, vaccinations, the PSAs, the communication piece. We went over a little bit about the LED sign on the green and the recognition piece. We talked about the Canfield PD going to Fairway Ford, doing a nice PSA there as well, and then moving on to some other businesses in the city. Like the mayor said, we kind of went all in on this one. I came up with the idea of let's contact the governor and see if we could get on there to highlight our COVID task force. To be honest with you, I thought my chances were slim and none. I emailed the governor Sunday morning before church at 9 o'clock. At 9:20, he had emailed me back, if you could believe it. 20 minutes later, and said, "Hey, I like what I see. Let me hook you up with my communication people, and away we go." Well, as you heard or saw, it was the mayor and I today, so we had a good time. So that was our next action step. We brought it to fruition, and our next meeting is tomorrow, 1 p.m.
Good. All right. Thank you very much for that report. Mayor Duffett, communication.
Well, piggybacking off of what Mr. Knoll said, this communication is going to bring, I think, not only our message to Canfield but beyond, but Canfield is going to get what we're doing, and if they haven't heard about it before, they're going to hear about it now. So that is I did not meet with the communications committee with all that's been happening in my personal life, but the PSAs, I did get a couple for our phase 2 with the PSAs for our next big one. There a couple came from Claire, and I'm hoping that we'll get the rest so we can move those PSAs forward. And of course, those are the ones that we did a couple weeks ago with the folks that are in Canfield, already been vaccinated, and tell their story. So that completes my report. Any questions?
Now, let me ask you, Mayor, when you said if you wanted to see it, look at Fox, is there something about that going to be on the local news tonight? Is that what you said? Is that what you meant?
Well, no, I was jagging my good friend Councilman Neff because I don't think he watches Fox that much, so I was just jagging.
Was there any local news coverage of the fact that you and Joe were on the?
Yes, I happened to see that WKBN.com covered the event live, and my brother was here, and he said he saw it on 21 or 27, whatever. I haven't seen it yet, but I know WKBN.com streamed it live, so they would probably have something up on YouTube. I haven't had a chance to check, and I think all local stations will probably cover it at some point tonight.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. The next item on the agenda is the status of the VAX testimonials and PSAs, and like you mentioned, that Claire has finished, as of a little while ago, had finished 2 of them, and that was the you and me, Mayor, doing kind of the task force update, and the one where the school nurses, and I think Claire called it the school PSA. Those 2 were finished. She told me she would have the vaccination one done, and she told me yesterday she'd have it done, I think today, and I haven't seen it yet, so I haven't looked at my mail recently. It may be there. Breeze, do you know if she's finished that vaccination?
I think it's close. I know that I looked at it. It really looks good with the Cokerts and Wizard, someone else as well. But I think that'll be probably done tomorrow or over the weekend.
All right, great. Very good. So we'll need to go ahead.
I'm sorry, Chuck, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, when that comes and that is completed, then I think we'll use that piece and send that down to WFMJ and see if they're still good for us to come down. They were interested a few weeks ago, which has turned into maybe a month ago, but I think now that we have this piece that involves the governor, and then we throw on there the PSAs, and then we want to come down and explain it, that would be the communication goal forthcoming.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Understood. All right. So we're looking forward to the vaccination PSA, and what the platforms that we use to distribute the first round of PSAs were just the traditional social media stuff. And you're saying this time you're going to push those out to that one TV station in particular in hopes of getting them to invite us down as they had planned to do to talk about this whole thing. Is that right, Mayor?
That's correct. And then also your, no doubt, and I think probably Superintendent would agree that dashboard that you've made and that package that he sent down was part of the very impressive thing that we're doing. And I will want to send that along and see to all the TV stations. And then there's a couple talk shows. I don't know if you've heard, I haven't heard anything back from the 2 talk shows that you had written a letter for.
No, I didn't either, Mayor. I didn't either. I was going to ask you.
We do have one. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you the same thing if you'd heard from them. I have not.
I have not either, but that doesn't mean that we're going to stop. I think that's the credibility that with today being invited on the governor's press conferences, then we can go to, I was thinking the Veteran Show by the gentleman. Who is that guy that runs the Veteran Show on Sunday morning? You remember what's that?
Years ago it used to be J.P. Brown. I don't know if he's the one that still does it or not.
It's he hosted when President Trump came to Youngstown, and before he went to the Covelli Center, we went. I happened to be there. I think, did you go to that? We went to the American Legion was represented there, and Struthers at the AMVETS, and this guy is former national commander of AMVETS, and now his wife Jan.
Yeah, that's JP. That's John Brown, JP Brown. Yeah, he's still the guy. I know JP reasonably well.
Why don't we, if you know him well, I know him some, maybe you could get us or yourself on his show.
Yeah, no, I'll do that.
He tapes the show.
That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, I'll get a hold of JP. And
then the MLO brothers, invited me on there, but they're crying foul with water, and so I kind of have a delay of game. Just, I delayed it because of my parents' situation, but then letting the water thing simmer down. But we can go on there with it, with part of the agenda being to discuss our task force. So that's forthcoming too. These are all loose ends that I got to tie up when I finish off with what I got to do here.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the LED sign update, Bruce, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just getting the thing running this week. I'm moving forward on Loghurst, but essentially we've kind of hit a roadblock on getting it on the green. I know Rotary meets tomorrow. Probably Dick or I should call either John Morbay and find out whether they're still going to try to sponsor something to put up the appropriate stand or device that would hold it. So,
what's the hold up on Loghurst? You said you're still moving ahead with it. What's the?
Well, it needs a base, which I found at Bernard Daniels that we can use, and there's no electricity to the foundation that we had poured for the LED, so that and this weather has kind of stifled that. We're going to I'm planning on just running a temporary cord on the snow, so at least, and then when the spring comes, we'll bury it. So.
Okay. Good.
We're making progress.
You got estimated timeline on
that? Next week, I hope.
Okay. I don't. Yeah.
Well, I know, but I said last week it'll be next week, and now we're next week. And
if you say next week, are you comfortable now that that's likely? That's likely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good. All right, update on the website. The 2 PSAs that Claire finished, I've uploaded to our media links page on the dashboard. They're right at the top of that page now, and when I get the vaccination one, that'll get posted there too. I got a note, Joe, from Renee saying that the school logo I'm using on the website is not the most current one. So I'll make that change tonight. She sent me.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll get everything changed tonight. It's pretty minor. I'll get that.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and like I said, I'll find the mayor and you on with the governor today, and I'll cut that piece of it out of the video and post that to that media links page sometime today or tomorrow too. So. And then I think our website will be current as of the current information I have. And again, the county health department is lagging behind on providing some data, but all I can really do is have that link on the home page that goes to the county health site, and people can click that, and if that's the most current they have on their dashboard, that's the most current we're going to have. So.
I actually got some data from Susan Kovacs yesterday to try to use for my presentation today with the governor, so I can send that to you.
Yeah, let me look at it, see what it is.
I asked her for like the last 2 weeks in Canfield,
okay.
And she gave me a nice graph.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'll forward that to you. It's something.
Yeah, please do. Thank you. Yeah, I'll see if I can use it.
Mr. Dole, could you send that to me too, just so I could take a look?
Yeah, he gave you a thumbs up.
Yes. I forgot you wasn't on. I gave you a thumbs up there, but
thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now while I'm thinking of it on my phone, so I don't forget.
Will we have? Are we going to try to have data on the LED, or are we just going to have slogans? The data is going to be a challenge because of having to be, current. I mean, it really probably should be changed almost every other day. It would be almost too much to do it daily, but
I think our intent, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe and Dick, our intent was to have a pool of slogans that we could program in and then time it every X number of minutes. change to the next one and just have it iterate over time. And as we come up with new ones, we can throw it into the mix. If some seem stale and bad, we can pull them out of the mix. But it was just going to be slogans. You're right. If we were going to use data, you'd have to update that thing continuously, and I don't think we don't have the ability to do that. So right now, go ahead.
Will we have any Canfield vaccination sites? Because right now, well, I think that the Rite Aid in Cornersburg.
Bruce, I can answer that.
Okay.
The vaccination, there's a couple things that have come out. You know, besides it being slow, it also is affected by the snow recently, so that slowed down the ones that were coming in over the last couple of days. And Johnson & Johnson soon to be releasing their vaccine, so that'll be more coming. But the county is holding kind of tight, like they had a big distribution today, because there's just not enough vaccines to send out to, say, Canfield, Poland, Western Reserve, and all these sites to be convenient, because they're still doing the drawdown of 80s, 75, 70 like that, and I'm not even sure where they're at. So once there's more vaccinations that Ryan Tekak, the Mahoney County Health Commissioner, gets, then I've already indicated to him that there's, you know, Canfield Fairground, there's another one with the right around the corner from Bellaria, Optimia Health and Wellness, and then, you know, perhaps the school. I don't know. There's things select, but CVS, I know, was one that says they're going to get one, but I don't think they're just enough vaccines. So long short of it is we need the vaccinations, the quantity to pick up, to get them.
Well, we it would really be good if we could have something that is accurate on, you know, to put on the screen, because that probably won't change, right? I mean, if we get a phone number, Claire and I were real lucky because our daughter is working part-time as a pharmacy assistant. She's a YSU student and is working up there on Belmont. She called us, and we were able to log on and get a reservation. And last Friday we went in, I think it was, or Thursday. So
how was your experience?
That was great. Yeah, in and out in a jiffy, and we'll get the second shot in 30 days. So
great.
All right, next.
PSA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Number 5 on the agenda is future activities. Television spots, we've chatted about that a little bit. The radio spots, we haven't heard back from KBN. Print media, I don't know. You know, we've gotten some initial print media through the Vindicator. I don't know that we warrant any additional print media coverage as far as they're concerned. I don't know that. But I don't think, unless we get some print coverage based on the governor's if they do a write-up tomorrow in the Vindicator about what the governor said today, there should be some mention of Joe, you, and Dick being a part of that press conference, I would hope. So that would be some print media coverage. And podcasts, Dick mentioned 1 or 2 that he's hanging fire on here.
There's one that I've done since, well, actually it was before 2 weeks ago. I may have forgot to tell you that it was more of a hour about Canfield, but the task force was a major part of it. And I don't know if I can see if I can get a copy of that.
Whose podcast was it?
This was a real estate agent. Let me look up her name. She lives in Canfield. She's got kids in the system, and she has a podcast. And I thought this was going to be just, I don't know what I expected, but she got a big house in the suburb, and she had her own studio, and I thought I was in the studio of KBN or something like that. It's very nice. So she does a professional podcast. I just don't know how, like whether
What's
it was
her name?
15 minutes.
What's her name?
I'm thinking of it offhand.
All right.
I'm looking it up here. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, you don't have to go. Just get it to me when you find it. I'll either she may save her. A lot of people save their podcasts, keep them available for playing later. If she did, I can find it and download it and put it on our dashboard. If not, I can just reach out to her personally and ask her to send. If she still has it, ask her to send it to me.
Yeah, I have her cell, but I just got to find.
All right. Well, when you get it, don't look for it now. When you get it, we'll do it. I don't think, because of our lagging a little behind in the LED signs and the some of these additional media spots, I don't think we are yet in a position to go to the next big one. That's my personal opinion. I'm open to discussion on that.
I would go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. I don't think it was Joe. It was me. I was going to say I just don't think we don't want to start jumping into something new until we close out the ones that we have open. So, or at least closer to closing them out.
I agree,
Right.
Chuck.
Okay. Joe, do you think that's okay?
Yeah, 'cause I got nothing bigger than what we did today, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, by the way, when I was going to your website, Joe, the school system website, to download the newest logo, a better one than Renee had sent me, that opening page where you have those scrolling pictures, there's a lot of good mask stuff and social. It's really, really impressive. Really well done.
Yeah, we're trying to load it up. Everything that we're doing here, we're getting it on there.
Yeah, Dick, if you or Bruce haven't seen it, you should. It's pretty good. Really good, not pretty good.
And that could you say that again? Because I wasn't hearing very well through the phone here.
If you go to the Canfield Schools website, on their homepage, they've got 8 or 10 images that scroll automatically as you're on the homepage, and a number of them have to do with COVID defense and social distancing, and a picture of the sign out front of the school with the cardinal and the mask on, and it's
okay.
very well done. Very well done.
Yeah, that sign out front of the high school is good. Very good.
Yeah, it's real nice. Yeah. All right. If we stick to our schedule, the next meeting will be 2 weeks from today, which would be the 4th of March. Can you believe it's March already? Jeez.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So if everybody's okay, we'll just stick to these Thursdays at 5:30, the 4th of March. Dick, maybe you can find out why Chuck didn't join us today. It might have been a call out, an emergency thing. I don't know. But,
I'll find out.
All right. Very good, gentlemen. Anything else before we adjourn?
I don't think so.
Okay, guys. It's been fun. Thanks for everything. Thanks for everything you do. Dick, again, sorry to hear about your mom so close on the heels of your father's passing.
I appreciate that, and we're having her funeral Saturday, so.
Yeah, I saw that in the paper.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Very good, gentlemen.
Okay.
All right, man.
Next time.
Thanks. See you guys.
Next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Way to go, Mayor. All right.
Oh, whatever this thing is here, whatever this thing is, I like this thing.
Yeah. Are we, is Brenda serving yet or no? We got a bunch of.
All is serving you, yeah.
I think it's going to be buffet style. What?
The whole basin has changed.
We painted the walls blue, and that's a navy blue. Of course I did. And then we painted this white. Okay.
I like everything. I mean, this thing here.
Yeah, we shot.
Is this where you hang out?
I hang out right in Bob's seat. Bob's
really
yeah. This is. Then we.
You need a bigger TV.
Got a little.
You need like an 85-inch.
Well, that's coming, but you got to get it past Brenda.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, good. All right. And then
Maybe we'll all get together.
Navy stuff. Navy
the Navy.
Well, Bob,
I love that.
I would listen to you, but you have to serve to be able to receive. So if he says it, I'm like, good one. I better counter that. But when the civilian does it, it's like.
All right. Hey, you got a youngster here.
Yeah, he does right there.
You were just talking to me, aren't you?
So Bob, did we make the TV?
Yeah.
All right. Let me. Why don't you let me sit and watch it? I'll give you a chair.
All right.
Or no, you know what, Bob? Oh yeah. Nice try. Bob, just stay there. Just stay there. Just give me the remote. Yeah, give me that, and then it came on 27.
Yeah, whatever one whatever.
Well, it was just the one that you were watching, or
I
what?
don't know if they changed the channel or not. No, this is the one.
All right.
Yeah, this is the one.
Did you guys already? Should I fast forward? You saw this stuff.
I see this. I see
All right.
That's at 5 o'clock. Yeah, that's
Now, here, let me tell you how this happened. The mayor or the governor sent probably 5 months ago. He sent an email to all the. We've had a meeting with him over Zoom, just mayors and him, then the lieutenant governor and him, and then he sent after those discussions on Zoom, he sent an email saying he'd like to have mayors in each city on the ground. This is when it was spiking up for the second time.
Yep.
Start their own task force, and it'd be called. He said, Mayor's COVID Defense Task Force, and then put your city.
I remember.
So I was on a Friday or Thursday night. I got that. Well, then I started thinking, who do we want on there? You know, leaders, obviously. So former mayors. We have 3 superintendents that live in that MCCTC, MCESC, which is the county superintendent, and then of course ours. And then there's 5 judges that have ties to Canfield, both city and township. Called all of them. Ray's the medical advisor. State Rep Al Catrona lives in Canfield. He's on there. His dad's infectious disease. We were going to try to get him. And then the fire chief, the police chief, the city manager, although he quit. And then we had Chuck Coleman, he's the vice commander of our task force. He's a West Point guy, retired colonel, our commander of the American Legion. And whatever, we probably have 25. The reason we went large is because we didn't.
You're wide and diverse.
Yeah, and wide, diverse, and we have 3 committees: education, that where it gets all the data, Kurt gets communications, we communicate it, and then Chief Colucci's in charge of recognition and rewards to go out to businesses and say, hey, look, we have this program where we can give you a certificate if you're not, quote, compliant, but if you're doing COVID-friendly stuff. Businesses love it because then we give them publicity and we give them a thing, and then people could come if they know they're safe.
Return to free.
Yes, yeah. And then we have a SWOT committee, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, where we'll look at comms, is it good enough? We'll look at that. So those are the 4. I've been sending, I would say, I get 2 packages of information email from the governor a week. And then I've been responding back to what we've been doing, and it seems like it's been in dead ears because I never get oh, that's nice or nothing. Well, we sent a dashboard down that has data of 44406 COVID. We have all his connections even to the CDC, and Chuck Coleman did that. So our new superintendent had got a congratulations email from the governor, and what's that? Oh, okay. And so we thought, let's shoot. He thought, well, he could be included, and we'll shoot something down to the governor. And he did that on a Sunday. 20 minutes after, and Joe summarized what our task force is doing for the school and what our task force is doing for the city and township. Yeah. The governor shot back and said, I'm going to turn this, I like what you guys are doing in Canfield. I'm going to turn this over to my communications. And would you be willing to come on my press conference either Tuesday or Thursday? Well, Thursday was better. So that's how that happened. So who knows whether, I think it was the superintendent's email they got it, but he has gotten.
You are the campaign manager. I want to make this connection even though we have different political.
Oh, I see Jim work. I seen Jim work, and we went. Remember Jim when we went up to the thing? Jim, remember that? Yeah, and you worked that. I was just like, I'm looking at Paul's little card saying, "Oh, that's what I said."
I mean, you don't have to agree on everything, but the bottom line is that, I'm new to Canfield, over 20 years, but Canfield.
Yeah, I still consider new. Canfield.
Yeah, no, I know. But Canfield, I'm a North Sider, as I've told you, but
right.
But Canfield is a place I raise my kids. I'm from the school, and it's a place where I can go.
There is. Right? There is. Yeah. Wait, let me go back.
All right, that's
there,
right
there.
Right there. Canfield effort for a lot of snow as we go into the weekend, but it will cool down for your Saturday and Sunday. What happens next week, though? Some warmer temperatures. I'll take you through the next 7 days coming up. Today, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine highlighted Canfield's effort to deal with COVID-19. We've reported numerous times on the city's response. First News anchor Stan Boney shares how the governor's now advanced. Well, Dave, this all begins in October when the governor asked leaders in every county across the state to put together groups to help stop the spread of COVID. And Canfield did just that. The governor saying today that he was very, very impressed. Now, to recognize Canfield for its efforts, the governor had Mayor Richard. Oh! Today. Mayor Dillon explained how Canfield put together a group of 25 people and formed 3 committees: Education, Communications, and a Recognition of Awards Committee. Superintendent Knoll said they bought dividers, temperature scanners, hand washing stations, and UV sanitation lights. Canfield schools never went all remote. Students were always in the classroom, though there was a point when the plan needed adjustment. Well, things were getting a little dicey, so we went to phase 2, Operation Stay Open Canfield, and it was just for our staff. 6 feet's great, but 8 to 10 feet sometimes is better. And then our recognition rewards goes throughout the city, businesses, and people that are doing well, we reward them.
This has really been a team effort, and I think you all have done a great job. I think the students have done a great job, parents. This has been, a really great effort.
I have one other note in today's briefing. A reporter from the web-based Mahoney Matters told the governor that it appears, and I am quoting her here, that the Youngstown City schools will miss the March 1st deadline. Wow. But a school district spokesperson told me the plans will be announced early next week. The governor did not say if he would penalize Youngstown and miss the deadline, saying he would rather focus on the majority of the schools that met the deadline rather than the few that may not. Live in the newsroom, Stan Boney.
Oh, that was all right.
Thank you. That shit right there, Jimmy.
I think you came across really well. Well, you talked, we talked for, I don't know how long, the governor and I, before Joe. I went first and then Joe went second. And one soundbite for me, one soundbite for Joe. But it was still, the overall report was good, but they didn't have much of a success.
So you got to capture the campaign do.
Right.
The guy.
Oh,
But the bottom line is different.
This helps.
You've done a good job. You have done a great job. I mean, I'm proud to have you on there.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because you have reached out, spread the wings, and done stuff that other people just, they wore the idea of mayor is just like a little back. And you enact stuff. So good for you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry we got to fight back against the charter.
Yeah, isn't it something, though, isn't it something, and this is the frustrating, you feel like we're moving the ball down the field, but it's like I also feel like the old saying, fight, you don't want to fight City Hall. I'm fighting City Hall. We got some
City Hall. You know what?
Yeah, but I'm fighting some swamp.
That's probably one of the best guys that I know. I've seen swamp boards.
Well, I know that.
You're connected. And I'm going to tell you, I mean,
have you thought about moving back here?
Bottom line with your old house,
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You see how, I mean, let's hope that the way he's going, but you just, gosh, this is unpredictable what happens here.
You can walk around Canfield, you got great skills. You guys got
Oh, definitely.
You have a great team here, and it's not about white and orange bullshit. It's
No.
about basic guys.
Yeah.
Good education, stand your ground, go chop wood, do shit. Don't screw around with the nonsense that's going around this.
Are you guys ready?
You guys ready? Yeah, I think we're ready, honey.
Let's just pull it out of the oven, give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
Going up there.
Just give her 2 minutes.
So we'll get mayor, second term, and then Jim, you can take over the mayor.
Yeah, Jim, that was not bad.
I think many. I know Zach. To come down and deal with the community.
Zach, let me tell you, we got this quarterback. Listen to this.
Black Lives Matter sign in my front yard. And you go to board with Washington, someplace like that. You get here in this work.
Yeah, I was just going to say, listen to this. Listen. Yeah, well, and we're probably next Friday, we're going to meet for a time. But Jim and Zach, we got a sophomore quarterback. Listen to this. So if you would come. Sophomore quarterback that is 6'3", runs probably I want to say 4'6", 4'5", is a catcher in baseball. He's going to be a 3-year letterman in baseball. He's going to be a 3-year letterman in football and a 3-year starter at quarterback. He was a sophomore. He was first team All-NEO. First team. And made recognition as all-state honorable mention. Next year, he's first team All-State. This kid's well. This kid can run. This kid's a humble kid. And I tell you, you come here and be a wide receiver with your team, and just let this kid, because we got some, Canfield's got it's a good program. We got the same coach for over 20 years, Pavlensky, and we're division, there's 7 divisions in Ohio, we're Division 2, Division 3.
It's good school.
Well, they graduated all last year. Yeah, and I haven't seen any freshmen. I know the freshman team is good, but I haven't go to any freshmen.
We did go to Pittsburgh, this area.
Did I go to the varsity? I don't know.
We don't have. I always tell people when I was in my chemistry, right?
Okay, let's go. Of all night. Let's talk where the tire meets the road. Oh, yeah. It was just that because the city's so nice, the people move here, that the city's nice and the schools are good. So you just have there's always been more than the average. Like when I look at Boardman or Oxford or around the school. Came out pretty good on 27. What did you think? Yeah, I did get your text, but I just didn't know whether it was stutter or smooth.
Here's how there's, for the Here, let me turn it on.
I knew it wasn't going to take long. All right.
You don't need one.
What do we got here? Oh, this looks good. Good, man. Why don't we start back here? All right. Look at that.
Oh, man, what did you do?
It's so off.
What?
Meat and potatoes. Where the plates are right there. Who got the Cuervo? That's rough.
Hold on.
Yeah, I missed it.
But last night, Bob, talked a little bit about the trial. I just wanted to put a couple ideas.
Oh, okay.
Later.
Okay. That sounds good. If you know how things, you've been around long enough to know, things are written
What
like
are you
this.
looking for, Dick?
They can interpret this way. Or
Dick,
this
why are
way.
you in that door?
I was going to get another one.
Don't wait a minute. You know what?
See pencils out there?
Like, you're not, man.
Oh,
Thanks, ran up, man.
Oh, good dessert. My goodness sake.
No, those are actually not.
All right. I got that cake though.
I thought you did the work.
I did, but I worked like so fast that I didn't even get to offer any. So it's been in the car. That's what I wrote. All right. How was your day, Luke? Oh, yeah, lots of them. What did you have? Well, I had some full good beans I had. They all had stuff. You know, Mom, Middleton. Oh, did you? Yeah, I thought you were pretty good about that. And yeah, you like it. You've had some time here. Sure. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Not all. I see you got a little tequila there. Oh. I had a whole lunch. Oh, it was on there. Somebody said it was on there. It was on there, yeah. I don't know, but it's very good, Paul. It's very good. With the sauce. Go ahead. Hey, if you want it, I'm going to take you. That's right. Go. Good job. I'll be back. Yeah, we were looking to get that stuff. You got to get that campaign, when is the re-election? It would be the first Tuesday in November of this year. This is the first. Or re-election. Oh, well, it's all first one. Yeah, so that's why. That's why we have our campaign manager talk to you about that. Yeah. He's got a social, not now. Oh, was that why those were on there? I thought they were laughing. Like, that would depend on your pastor. He is very talented. I know. Regardless of anything else, he's very talented. Stop that. Oh, you want? That bean soup that you make. Oh, that was fantastic. This is what Paul does on the phone. Tell him about the ham. Ammo? That's what makes it. I get that ham on 3 days. Just the 3 days. It's the broth. I can cook that broth. But you know what? Winter time, no. I mean, you just boil it up. Did you like it? So do that 3 days after drain it up. How do you know to do it 3 days? Somebody, I don't know. Or you just thought the more you do it, the more you're getting it out of the bone. You have to leave the bone and see the mirror. So when you boil up the bone, right, it looks like this, but it's bone comes apart and the mirror's coming out. Good. And that gives it flavor, which I call marrow. Bone marrow on that. It's also good for you, by the way. But regardless of that, if you do it for sedimentation. Then once you drain it, then you can do everything.
Did you have some of that, Bob?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wasn't that good?
I like the book. You know what? I think they have.
Well, I'll make it. It's fun making. Big
So, the big issue.
What is the big issue?
What are the picks the Browns are going to be doing?
Let's think of what we need. What do we need? I like talking this.
Well, and this brings them into conversation here.
All right, Josh.
There's a huge rumor. I don't know. You probably may have heard about this, but the Browns are really looking to sign J.J. Watt.
I heard that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's out there.
Oh, really? I never heard that. Two of the top 5 defensive ends or edge rushers in the NFL are on the exact same team coming off.
We need that because our linebackers are weak.
No, wait a minute. So for a political side, so how much is Canfield?
Steelers. I said Jets kind of really divided. This is a risky.
Slowly changing.
Doesn't Davidson kind of tell us how they decorated half of it? You got to go to your man over there. You got to figure that out.
No, I don't know.
It used to be.
I bet it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, when San Francisco was in their peak, we probably had 25% that were 49%. And then we had in Pittsburgh and Cleveland probably equal apart. You know, 40-40.
Back in the 70s and 80s, but I think that's changed.
Oh, I think it is. Yeah. But Pittsburgh hardcore, they're that way. Cleveland hardcore, they're that way. But I think Cleveland's starting to attract some people that don't really care.
So, more than J.J. Watt. When did that come out? What's going on now?
Why would J.J. Watt? Now, he's free agent. He can sign any place, right?
He wants to get a ring. He wants to get a ring. He's got like remember
he wants players who wants to Cleveland, but that's okay. I'm
He's a Midwestern guy.
Yeah.
They're looking to sign him.
No, he was not playing it next when he played it. Didn't he play with Hudson? Yeah. Right.
Good question, right?
He's a Badger. Or he's a big Badger. So he's awesome.
His brother, T.J. Watt, right?
What did that be?
Maybe even 3 times.
Wow. Wouldn't that be something? Brothers playing against brothers in a rivalry now that's gotten good.
So this is strategic in that, so you have two great defensive ends and rushers. You've got a very moderate and young linebacking crew. So you don't have to necessarily pull under linebacker.
The top linebacker in the game. You got to pick up a veteran. Somebody who's been in the game for a long time. Keep these guys.
Center linebacker. A pass person.
Well, you just signed some really fast linebackers out of free agency.
But he'll be a leader. So because the other two, so the third game, right, then you got the safety and the long safety. Whoever's in the center there has got to be able to read what they're seeing. It's got to be so smart so they can read that. You can collapse the play, right?
And the Browns still have the largest cap, right?
There's 2 things right now for cornerbacks. There is. So the Patriots are going into sort of a rebuilding. And Bill Belichick, one of his philosophies, he would rather have a very young person who may have a few years of good NFL playing versus one of the best in the NFL. But so Stephon Gilmore, top 3 corner.
What's what we're talking about?
I don't know if you would pick up Stephon Gilmore, but I do know there's 2 good free safeties that are in free. Justin Simmons from the Broncos and
Which is back. Yes. I mean, was he up in college?
Well, made the Pro Bowl. He made the Pro Bowl.
So the free PA. How old is he?
No, but like 20.
Oh, really? So we get good 4 years out of him.
at least.
So, we were talking about the other side of Brenda, right? This is really who was on it. Where did we get Jackson? We were talking about this as far as quarterback recruiting, right? All different from Anton said, oh, that's a big place. That's a varsity place. That's like a banquet place. I got to think. So what do you do with Jacksonville? So you got first, second, so you got two quarterbacks. You got Justin or you got Trevor. You do Justin. But just think of a minute. But if you look at that team,
Pretend that Justin Fields is never out of Ohio State and Trevor Lawrence is never on team.
you get all that.
Strategically, from a NFL perspective, not by.
Yes, right. Who are you? Trevor. Trevor. But let me ask this question strategically, as you said. So, do they have the offensive line to protect whoever? I mean, absolutely not. So would you waste that money? I think it's and if the coach. We got the right guy. He's leading Brown. We got great back. Quarterback.
Play after a guy. When you were going to have a right round back.
This year we did. Because the offensive line of the Browns, we can look at more up. Has been improved dramatically. Yeah. You give this guy a lot of time. He's not the best. He's not the brightest.
Don't have to have it.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. Like I told you the other night, it's like Indianapolis. If you walk back and go over to Mr. Peyton Manning, what you'll find out is this, the architects of that team did one thing. Is that we're going to do an offensive line, we'll be together 5 to 7 years, and we're going to get the best 5 to 7 guys to settle that line. First 4 or 5, and then we're recruiting tight end. Remember they had Bud. And Bud was the mindset, and we're going to sign him for a long-term contract. And we're going to hope and he stay healthy. And what they did was, Jackson, those guys bought it into the system. And they gave Peyton Manning the ability to have a running game and a throwing game at will. And against any given offense, any given team, they could adjust accordingly, whether he dropped the truth or hand up. Think about the running backs. The team had that period of time when I was 10 years. No. You had people that on that offensive line that could fold or open or shift and move stuff around. So all the pressure out of the quarterback. Now I got a game plan. I know who you are. I don't know how you play. But here's what I can do as an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. Think about this for a minute. In the Browns, they always took the class. They said we're going to take a great quarterback. And they're going to get him slaughtered. Right. Then their offensive block. You mind? Think so? Oh, yeah. Last year, yeah, great line. They make a mediocre quarterback. So they run Brown defensive line, but 17 last year to second in the NFL. And moderately, of course, you could do that. Moderately young, but it just opens up. No, it protects. Right. It allows time. It allows space. come from Colonial Plaza, okay, and you're going towards, it's right over here, that plaza. Yeah, right over here. And you're going, no, you're going up 224 towards the center of town.
Okay.
You go past the cemetery.
Yeah.
And then the first new development there was,
they have
there's
those
condos.
back in
Yeah,
there.
there's condos, and then there's another street that's cut in that has a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
I forget the name of that, but she lives at the end of that housing development. It's new and it's nice. I just can't remember the name.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it's, I went door to door campaigning in that street, and I met the mother, and she was very nice.
So is she still married to the dad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess the mom, she came on. Well, he was in somebody that he was. Oh, I didn't hear that part.
And Lauren looks like her mom. Yeah.
She has a Williams or like her mom too?
What? She does. Oh, Lauren. Wow.
I know somebody that did too, but it's terrible. It can be very terrible. Yeah.
But she had to have it out.
Yeah.
So her mom and her grandmother both had it. Wow, she's got the genes. Okay, they know so much about genes and oh my God.
Last year, where he gave up the ego to get all that, and he did that.
Here, I got this from Carol Ebert. Hi, Duck. Well, she just did put Dick in there. Sorry I was so blunt. I don't know what, you always look good, but you're young. Oh, she says I look older with it. She says I like your goatee, but it makes you look older. Well, I laughed at that, and then she's saying, sorry I was so blunt. You always look good, but you're too young and handsome for whiskers. Love, Carol. Oh, okay, I'm going to tell her.
Tell her come over
2 years
after all this settles out.
If they're not in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
in 2 years, I wouldn't throw it away. I mean,
I didn't want her to get stuck in the driveway.
2 years.
No, and she should be. And when she walked up here, I said, I think she wanted to come in and just express her condolences to you too, but it's icy. And I shoveled a little bit, and then she wouldn't let me carry the thing. So I said, well, you hold on to me, and then I'll open things, and we came in through the thing. But she's a nice lady. She started up a little, teared up a little in the car because we were both saying we missed Mom. She said, I felt so bad. And I said, well, Carol, look at this way. You didn't want to bring anything to Mom, because you could be carrying something you don't know. And so you did, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to go into other people's homes unless you live there. And we,
The person that was here when I came in the first
Where did they get it? Where'd they get it to? Oh, how much? Oh, wow.
Very good. Zenobia and 40 cents.
Our three favorites. Wow.
Great.
How much money? So how do you know how much money? She said me 20.
Right. We saw that this year. Right. It wasn't.
gift cards you're talking about.
You got gift cards. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about. Okay. No, she asked me. She said, you guys did
I think those guys as a team are cohesive. They haven't mentioned.
What did Carol bring us?
Some of these players
some
are
pros and cons of it. They-
Oh,
I put it in the freezer.
it's a good thing.
My mom and Jesse.
They want to take it over the finish.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing that we have that extra refrigerator out there too for space.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Right now it's just pulled outside all the food stuff.
Yeah, kids will steal it out of the garage. Yeah. Come in and say, hi, Bear. We keep that closed all the time, but not because of that. They were just pies because I'm thanking her. Because she just texted me. That was Mrs. Duda. She brought over some pies.
Five?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, Bruce is already checking in about tomorrow.
Let's go tomorrow, mid-afternoon, 2 or 3.
I'd say, no, let's go earlier than that.
Well, I need the morning, but I got
What's that?
What's going on with your stuff? You have stuff going on tomorrow? City stuff.
Yeah, but nothing that I got to just talk some strategy, and Bob's going to be part of that, and our other councilmen. It's 2 against 3, and my biggest ally is a Democrat. Yeah. So that's odd. Well, and Morbay's a Republican. Nacarado, I don't know, and Tish is a Democrat.
Okay.